So it's been a bit over a year since the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, and the gun control people are making hay about it again, never being ones to let a good tragedy go to waste. In particular, the premier gun control organization, the Brady Campaign, has been trotting out survivors to manipulate the public's emotions on the matter. The big problem is, with the Pulse nightclub, you did have gun control. In fact, an outright gun ban, because in the state of Florida, it's illegal for anyone except an on-duty police officer to carry a firearm into an establishment that serves alcohol. But amazingly enough, that didn't stop Omar Mateen, nor would background checks, since he had passed 2 of them previously when he got employment as an armed guard. He also passed a firearm proficiency test, so that requirement wouldn't have stopped him. And he got his gun months in advance, so waiting periods would have done no good. But hey, I'm sure one more law would have made the difference. But instead of looking at individual events, we should look at overall statistics. Every year, the FBI publishes their uniform crime reports throughout the U.S. The Brady Campaign published state scorecards, basically saying how good the various states' gun control laws are. So let's look at the state homicide rates for 2013, the latest year for which both sets of data are available. Here they are, ordered lowest to highest. Now, the Brady Campaign has the 10 least friendly states for criminals, the ones they consider to have absolutely the best gun control laws, which we'll color in green. And the criminals' choice states, the ones with the most lax gun laws, which we'll color in red. Now, if there's anything to this, we should see the green states toward the left end of the scale and the red states toward the right. Let's take a look. No, we don't see that at all. They're all scattered around pretty much at random. Sure, you might be able to cherry pick a few states to make your point, but you don't get to do that. You have to look at the totality of the data, and we don't see any real difference between the states with the best gun control laws and the states with the most permissive gun laws. They overlap far more than they diverge. So let's look at the totality. Let's look at an XY scatter plot where the x-axis, like before, is state homicide rates with the lowest on the left, and the y-axis is each state's score on the Brady Campaign scorecard. Louisiana, with a homicide rate of 10.8 compared to the next worst of Alabama with 7.2, is an outlier, and its presence will skew the trend much more than a single data point should, so we'll remove that. So let's put our scatter points up. If the Brady Campaign is right, we should see a significant downward sloping trend. Guess what? We don't. Those points are really all over the place. To see if we can tease out a correlation, we need to look at 2 things, an exponential trend line and the R-squared. So we'll put up the trend line. Again, if the Brady Campaign is right, this should be a significant downward sloping line. If they're wrong, then either gun control doesn't work, in which case the line will be more or less flat, or gun control just makes things worse, in which case it will be significantly upward sloping. So we need to define significantly. What we need to see is R squared being greater than 1 over n. In other words, 1 over the number of data points. Since we removed our outlier, that's 49. So as long as we have an R squared greater than 0.02, we have a significant result. So let's look at our trend line. This is not significant. In fact, this is pretty freaking flat, with an R squared of 0.0006 or so. Gun control, according to data from the premier gun control advocacy group, makes no difference whatsoever. And now you know why they have to trot out survivors and family members of victims to tug at your heartstrings, because they have nothing else to back them up with. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, why not hit like and subscribe? And to make sure I can keep producing content, support this channel by becoming a patron. And check out all the other great content here, like this video selected especially for you.